guys, we are back with another hitter, another banger. We are back with actually my first interview ever. My man Kev of Advanced CDL Driving Academy. All right, Kev, how you been? So for anybody who doesn't know, my boy Kev, he's been doing this thing strong and hard for at least, over the last 2 to 3 years, man. And amazing things have been happening, but I want him to tell you his story. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. We blessed and highly favored, moving things along. I'm still doing what we're doing, but doing it at a high level.
Okay.
And the consistency is there.
Mm-hmm.
That's our celebratory moments.
And that's a blessing too, man. So what's been new? We're in your office now, man. So how's it been since it's been a year? So what's been new since the year, brother?
Man, I don't know where to start, man. Everything's been new. This is actually a new location. When we last did the video, we was just in a lot. I actually didn't have a building. I had like an office, little mobile office. And shortly after that, the opportunity to essentially take over this location and another location in Northeast Maryland came about. Like literally right after that video, two locations got added. We started working on this place, and this is kind of turned into home base.
Oh man!
And we've been shooting for the stars ever since.
Listen, that's a blessing, brother. So with all of this newfound fame and fortune, how you been keeping yourself level?
I think mental health awareness, taking care of your body, taking that little bit of time off to make sure that you're good mentally.
Yes, sir. And
understanding that you can't do everything, and that's kind of mixing those things together and having a little bit of patience through certain situations, and understanding that this is a growing process and you're learning. You don't have the full manuscript yet. You're writing it. So it's okay to use your eraser and then go back and change the sentence.
Yes, sir. So let me ask you this, because Kev, the last time we were speaking, you were a bit at a crossroads, and now you got your full foot in the door. So like, what was it, paint me a picture of what kept you in the game and what has helped you to grow to what you are now.
What kept me into the game? You know me, man. God kept me in the game, and God grew it to what it is now. As in the last time that we talked, he still has taken over this location, and he still made it so that I can, be in position when he needs me to be in position and impact lives when I need to. We've helped a lot of people since we took over this spot, but even from the beginning, I think we had about like 800 students right now.
Oh, yeah. Amazing!
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's we gotta do something for the boy. Where the claps at? My bad, kid.
You good? Hey,
great experience. Great instructor.
how many times you guys had to go to your test?
Just one time.
There we go. That's all we need.
But yeah, no, that's amazing. So 800 students, how you do it all, man? That's a lot of people to handle. Listen, I even do I do the mental health thing. So my groups are usually like 30. I'm not doing like hundreds. How do you keep it all together?
It's really the team. It's really the team that helps keep things together. I knew that I was always a good trainer, good leader. And, I had to, when growing a business, sometimes you got to take a step back and realize where you're needed at the most. And I was needed in the position of developing my team, because I got some solid guys with me, and they was able to take care of the student. So I feel like me in my position, I'm supposed to take care of the team. And it's just been a course of, growing pains and development, and just seeing where people shine at the best.
Yes, sir.
And,
yes, sir.
I like to focus on the wins versus the losses. We celebrate the wins. We use that to push us forward, and we still work on the losses when we have time.
Okay.
The team is what got all of them done.
And the blessings to the team. So you want to shout out anybody on the team right now?
Oh man, that's everybody. I got John, I got Christian, I got Sam, Jaden, Devin, Dewan, Mr. Will, Diego. There's a couple of people. I got my daughter work for me now.
Oh, congrats. Keep it in the family. I like that.
Yeah. And actually, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we actually just received #1 school in the state of Maryland.
That's what I like to hear. Christopher Kibler, just want to let you guys know that I went to Advanced CDL Driving Academy. Those guys are great. They're the bomb. They walked me through every step. I'm here today, and I just passed my pre-trip, my road trip. So thanks a lot to John and Kevin for an excellent job on training me, man. I recommend you guys 100%.
That's what we love to hear right there. That's what we love to hear. So, before we get too far into it, let's take a step back and let the people know what the Advanced CDL Driving Academy is really about, what your origin is, so that way they know what we all are talking about.
So essentially, I hopped into the industry from, I was in the restaurant field, switched over to, CDL and stuff like that, because it was like somewhat the only thing that can like produce the type of money that I was looking for.
Yes, sir.
Throughout that opportunity, I found myself in a position to give back, and I looked at it like, a lot of times people do things to chase money, and I was like, what can I do to essentially help people, and can I, take care of myself while doing it? And throughout that process, insert myself into different places. After I got my CDL and realized how that can change somebody's life and really put them back on their feet, I contacted the jail, and then we started getting CDL programs inside of the detention centers, stuff like that, going behind the walls and being able to teach the guys the permit and stuff like that. We worked with Howard County and actually was able to get funding for it. So now the guys can get trained hands-on after they leave the facility, or when they actually are in the facility. At this point, I realized that I had a real opportunity, and I was like kind of in my bag. It was like my zone. It wasn't too hard. It wasn't something that I woke up dreading, like, oh, now I gotta go train these people, or now I gotta go figure out how to do this. It's not perfect, but we do good at it. We do good at it, and tools necessary to build something great is here.
Okay.
And it's good ground, and we started off good. We started off on the right page. We didn't take no unethical tactics or different type approaches. Like, a lot of people, they start their things off on bad ground, and then, once it falls apart, they wonder why. This was started on good ground. So
yes, sir. Because once you're doing something good, people want to tear it down. They want to see it fall because they want you back at their level, man. So how do you, speaking on that point, how do you keep the hater noise out of your ear and just keep going on your own path?
Well, to be honest, I think, of course, it's people out there that might have a problem with your success and whatever. But to be honest, I think the type of person I am, I really stay out the way, So I'm so busy focused on what I'm focused on. If you are bothered by me, I can't really tell. So a lot of my interactions with people are in the same industry that have other schools, we're on good terms. There's no ill will, there's no negative feelings like that, because I'm a genuine person. So
yes, sir.
I think when you operate like that, even amongst your competitors, you earn your respect, because I'm thorough about what I do. Consistent. My school does what it needs to do, to be successful. So there's no real reason for me to be like checking for it, I'm focused on what I'm focused on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I see that a lot of people, because since I've talked to you, I actually met a lot of truckers, right? And most of them, they get their CDLs they from the company they're either potentially about to work from. So what is it that sets your academy apart from all those other ones?
I guess two different things. As far as truckers going out there to run their operation, like driving trucks and picking up loads versus a CDL school, at the root of anything, you got to be good at business.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You got to be good at delegating. You got to be good at understanding the market. You got to be you got to be good at knowing ups and downs. Be a good steward over the resources that God has given you in that time, because you might be up this month $100,000, but that $100,000 is needed to stretch you through the next 3 months. But if you're going out there buying things that's unnecessary or that's not pouring back into your business, that's probably is going to bring you, a real bad downfall.
Yes, sir.
And in the trucking industry, I think that a lot of times people get out there and they're drivers, but they're not businessmen. And they don't understand that you got to get your paperwork on. You got to check over certain things. Your filing's got to be good. You got to do this, you got to do that. And you might need a team in order to help you to be successful with that. Like I say, I think part of it is people's management of their business. I think that I do a good job at putting the right people in place. I'm a jack of all trades. A lot of things I can handle myself, but in order to grow your business, you got to put the right people in place. So that's where it comes back to as far as the team. Team ain't perfect, but some people have some extraordinary qualities about them. So why focus on the things that's not perfect versus build the things that's extraordinary? And that's why we have extraordinary results, because all of the people that's in the right place is extraordinary at what they do.
Yes, sir.
It makes sense.
Listen, Kev know how to put a team together, man. He should have been a coach. You don't know. He should have been. Listen, we might see him in a little while in a little league. But listen, Kev. So I mean, you've made this place amazing, but it also feels like home, man. Like I walked in here, I met your students and your lovely fiance over there, and it just feels like you didn't step into a school. It more so felt like I stepped into an office of somebody I could actually relate to and be personable with. So how is it that you have fostered this type of relationship in the first place?
A lot of business owners get stuck in the traditional way of running business or the traditional way of operating things. My thing, I seen something from, I don't know, about free promotion or whatever, but Raising Cane's, it was I guess like a documentary, and what he said that the number one thing that he focused on was producing good chicken tenders. That's it. He didn't want to recreate the wheel. He just wanted to have the best chicken tenders that he could possibly produce. And everything that he does is structured around producing that. So I want to have the very best training program. So I'm going to dig deep for information. I'm going to understand how this place operates, how that place operates. If there's any updates, I'm going to make sure my information is updated. I'm going to hold my team accountable. It's okay if we fall short sometimes. The thing is, we just can't overlook it, and we have to do something about it. So everybody's held accountable in order to grow, and you share the rewards. It's always been a you eat what you kill type of environment.
Yes, sir.
So when people understand they have stake in what they're doing, like this isn't just Kevin's school. We all are a representation of this place. Half the time, students don't even know I'm the owner. They walk right past me, get to talking. They think John is the owner, somebody else, Christian. Like, oh, da da da. I actually can appreciate that, because that means, one, they trusted each and every person here enough to spend their money here, because I might not be here. They come in, they enroll, they spent their money here. That means each one of my people are a reflection of me and what we're trying to foster, what type of environment we're trying to foster. And to be honest, if that's not what type of time you on, you can't work here. It's like I tell people all the time, it's almost easier to get a job at the FBI than at Advanced.
That's crazy.
For real, your spirit got to be right. You got to be level-headed. I'm a believer. I don't force my team to be believers. You got to have a place to start from, in a sense. Like, it's a level of compassion that you have to have in order to be a good teacher. You got to have the understanding that sometimes your student might come in or having a good day. Sometimes they may have a bad day. Sometimes they might do something that you don't agree with. If you have the mindset that you're here to provide a service and you represent something that's kind of far beyond that little temporary difficult situation, and that you will be rewarded from it too if you just muscle through it. I think that's kind of what is in the forefront of the guys' minds, is like, you know what, student might be giving me a hard time today, but at the end of the day, if I need to go relax, there's a massage chair upstairs. There's TVs in any one of these rooms, and we cool with all of the food people down the street. So it's the not just the school, but the environment around the school. Everything is comfortable. I try to make it as comfortable as possible. I try to make it so that it's not like, hey, you came in and you didn't follow this strict rule that was put in place that was really unnecessary, because it doesn't affect how well you train. It doesn't affect how well you do this. One of my main focuses is that you come to work, come on time, and you give the student the information that you have, and the information that you wish maybe somebody might have gave to you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful, bro. Because each one teach one, and that's the only way people are going to grow. And I want to touch back on something you said earlier, because this is something you spoke on our last podcast, but you've even been in the jails helping people to get actually recidivized. And I want to talk about, how did you get started with all of that? What was your passion that made you want to go into the prison and give back like that?
Just because as a returning citizen myself, I realized that it's not a lot of opportunities for everybody when you coming home. And if you don't have the right resources around you, or if you don't have a good foundation or a good team, then you're going right back. It's not set up for you to win. It's not set up for you to be successful. And there is some places out there that do pour back into the system and that do help, but it's not enough. So I wanted to be part of one of the systems that could help. I knew that CDL was something that it was returning citizen friendly. So if you had a record, if something's going on, that you could have potential. You could have better odds getting a decent paying job enough to something that can support the cost of living doing CDL. And I knew that the opportunity was there. The place that I was at, they encourage programs, they encourage things of that nature. So it was a perfect opportunity, like seize the day. And then once, you know, I God put it in my heart. Once I seen and understood how it could take place, then I started planning and pondering on the vision. And then literally I did what he said, and he opened the doors. It's deep. The story about that part is expanded past that point. We originally started in the Howard County Detention Centers. I was fortunate enough to go to some reentry conferences where I met with Secretary Shrugs. It was an opportunity to actually go into other Maryland prisons. We just signed a contract to go into the Baltimore City prison, so that this will actually be my second facility. And it's great, man. Like, I got essentially that one connection that I was exposed to got me into a position to be able to help anybody, like, kind of in that realm. And I just see where it's going, and it's like, it's on point, man.
That's a blessing, bro, and I'm glad. Listen, so okay, so how many people have you been able to help from a position like that?
So from the detention centers, about 37 people that have gone on to get their license and jobs and stuff. I actually kept 3 people that came through the program. They was like, know what, I'm not sending you nowhere.
Okay.
We're actually in the process of my transportation company side of the school just went live, Advanced CDL Driving Club.
Okay.
So I'm going to get trucks and different things so that they can run for me, because, you know, if you got talent, I'm not gonna let it go to waste.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if there's a way that we could put things into place where everybody can eat, then why not? You know, if you can work with somebody that understands what's going on with you and understand the road that you have ahead, and you can appreciate the fact that, hey, it's not as easy as a person without a record to get a job. So I'm gonna appreciate this opportunity a little bit more. I feel like that's a great way to build a good relationship and, you know, be successful.
Now y'all hear this is all under 2 years. This man has done all of this work. He is doing, listen, God has put his hands on your shoulders, and that's for sure, brother. And I just want to ask you this. You know, we spoke about this too on our last podcast, but, you know, who is the motivation that, you know, keeps you uplifted? Like, who keeps their word in your ear that keeps you motivated to do all this good work?
God, first and foremost. And that's not like saying that to be, you know, funny or anything like that. Being the type of person I am, I don't want to say stubborn, but I can get laser focused on things, and I can kind of like sometimes lock in on what I know is best because I've experienced life the way that I experienced life.
Yes, sir.
And God is constantly revealed in every single situation about this process that he's the one in control, and that he has my back through everything. And long as I put him first, long as situations like this, they know that God is the thing that fuels the school. It's not nothing else. It's nothing else, not Muhammad, not Buddha, no nothing, no disrespect, but God is what fuels this place. God is what put everything into position. He sends the students here. He makes sure the students pass. He makes sure that they're safe. He lines them up with good jobs. Everything. He makes sure my trainers get to work on time. He makes sure that they get to work safe, that they in the right state of mind. He opens the doors. He puts contracts in front of my face. As simple as that. It's like, and it's been so much kind of on that side of things, like, then versus another person. I think sometimes a God will do things to make sure that you know it's him that's doing it, and that he gets all of the glory for it. Because I have people that, you know, come to my aid, and I have people that are there at the right time, but the way that they're there is just, it's like it's like, how did you know this needed to happen at this specific time when you came and it worked, and it wasn't no frustration, it wasn't no we got to go back and forth. It just, you came, it was needed, it was done, it worked, we're good to go. It's God, man.
That's it, brother. Listen, my man, he taking us to church, and it is Sunday here today. And I'm glad that I got to be here with you, bro. So, you know, let's dive back into the trucking business itself. Most people just think it's driving, but can you tell me some of the things that people don't really pay attention to, and like you were highlighting, things that they should be looking out for?
So, as on the transportation side of things, I think your health, your actual ability to do the job is important. Your home life balance. Like, if you got a lot of stuff as a trucker, if you got a lot of stuff going on at home and it's driving you crazy, it's going to distract you when you're out there on the road. And that could lead to potential accidents. It could lead to a whole bunch of potential things that can go wrong if you're not good with your money management and things of that nature. A lot of times truckers like to spend a lot of money driving throughout the road. Well, you need to stop at that Walmart, put something together, understand if that extra meal fits into your budget, because rates go up and down with trucking. Mechanical bills come out of nowhere. You know, there's always something on the ground that's going to pop your tires, and tires is $300-$400, $500 for tires, something that goes up on a regular. You know, average mechanical bills is $1,200-$1,500, and that's if you can get the parts.
Okay.
So I think sometimes it's the lack of preparation, understanding the market, understanding what type of season you're in. Are we in a recession? Is trucking boom? Is it doing bad right now? And I'm not like no professional guru on like the operation of being on the road running a trucking company. Like I said, I do understand running business. So I understand you're going to need good equipment. You're going to need to have somebody that's going to check over your equipment, that make sure that is, you know, that any problem that could get fixed before you get on the road, that is getting fixed. If you're not good at money management, paper, organizing, all of that stuff, you're going to need to hire somebody, put them in place, because you got to make sure that you get those things done on time in order to get paid on time. And you got to make sure that that's something you like doing. If you don't like driving, then you're not going to be good at it.
That's it. You're not.
So like I mean, like I said, you could apply that with anything. I think a lot of times people just see the money and they don't understand the hard work that goes into it. They think they just driving 12 hours a day, but they're not understanding that is every time you got to be alert those whole 12 hours. You could drive a car most of the day and really forget what you was doing, but to drive a truck all day, you have to worry about all of the cars coming into your lane, making sure you're taking the right exit, what's going on with your equipment, whether you hauling, you know, something that's moving around back there. Like we haul flatbed, so we got to make sure that it's strapped down, that it's secured properly and all of that stuff. And it might not seem like a big deal, but if you don't do it, it can cause you a lot of problems. And I just don't think people have enough work ethic nowadays to do that. You get what I'm saying? They look at it as like an easy opportunity to make a whole bunch of money, but trucking and being a trucker is a real deal job. And I ain't even gonna lie, because I always say I'm a GPS trucker, and I'm kind of, you know, hands free sometimes. I can drive anything, but what they do on a day-to-day basis, I don't even do.
Okay.
You know,
yes, sir.
Those that don't do teach.
Yeah, hey, I hear that. He said I gave that up.
Yeah, I kind of like want to as like a sport. And no disrespect to the real truckers out there doing it, but like it's a hard job. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's not what my passion was. That's not what my passion was. My passion was more or less in helping people, you know, providing the opportunity, providing a lane for somebody to be great at, you know, something that they had a passion to pursue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, listen. Now we discouraged them a little bit, but let's give them the reality. When they come through CDL, Advanced Driving Academy, what will their paycheck be looking like? I mean, what is the outcome that people are expecting?
That really depends on where you go. I can't stress it enough. That's anywhere from $650 to anywhere to $2,500, $3,000 a week. It really just depends on where you go. We have one person, because a lot of people worry, like, if I had something on my background or DUI or this, that, and we had somebody with a whole bunch of stuff on their background, and then went out and got a job hauling heavy equipment, and they're around like $1,500-$1,800 a week, and this is their first job in trucking, and that job starts there and it goes to the moon. And then I've had some people that had a great driving history, no problems, no nothing, and they stuck at a place and they only make it $850 a week. And like I say, it's a reflection of what you want to do. You see the two differences. One person is driving a dry van where you just back up into a door, you unload it. Another person is doing something where you got to get out, you got to chain it down, you got to make sure it's good, you got to drive the equipment onto the truck, you got to do all of that. So it really just depends on what you want to do. You might want to go drive a dump truck. You might want to go drive a school bus. You might want to drive a Greyhound. Greyhound drivers, they're eating. MTA drivers, they're eating. But I talk to them, a lot of hours goes into it. So it really just depends on what you want to do with it. But I think that's the same about a lot of different things. It's like how far are you going to take it? How much are you going to invest into it? What are you going to grab out of that situation? If it's just a paycheck, then that's all you're going to get. But if you're going to really, pull what you need out to it, use that to go to the next thing, and then keep building from there. You can make a lot of money in trucking, because you might not end at just driving a truck. You might dispatch, you might broker, you might do a bunch of different stuff.
So if somebody out here is watching and they want to get into your CDL training, what is it that they exactly have to do?
With us, you can visit us at www.advancedcdldrivingacademy.com. You can stop in 3426 South Hanover Street, Brooklyn, Maryland, 21225. You can call us 833-4. I'm gonna say it.
I mean, you doing it early, because I was going to do that at the end.
4511. I mean, but the biggest thing with us is you got to have a valid driver's license. As long as you have a valid driver's license, and now with, you know, the political issues around visas and stuff like that,
Okay.
a little bit more sensitive of students with like work visas and stuff like that, because I want to make sure that they don't pay me any money and then they can't get their license. So we'll go through a little process of, you know, contacting driver services at the NVA, maybe Homeland Security, and making sure everything is good with that. But, you know, I want to say maybe 40% of my students is of another nationality, so it's definitely something that's really important to me. But pretty much just have a valid driver's license, enroll in one of the ways that we have to enroll, and we'll take it from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's take a step and let's walk into the classroom. What is the course load like, and how long do they have to stay in?
Everything with us is custom fit, because you have some people that's been driving trucks all their life. They just been riding dirty.
I got it.
Some people that think they can drive trucks, but, you know, can't park a shopping cart. So it's you know, you can't. I'm real big on people's time and their money and their resources and stuff like that. And if I can do something and I can do it well, and I can do it with the least amount of resources from both teams, like essentially like, I can still benefit off of what you pay me, but it doesn't cost you as much as it really should. If I can do that and have that down to a science, like it's like almost like a thrill to me. It's like, all right, I got that done at the best record time. And, you know, and because I look at it like I try to provide like almost like a white glove service to the training. It's not so much like super clean, but it's thorough. It's the compassion is there, and all of those things are there. So it's really person specific. Are you beginner? Have you study well? You know, what are your study habits like? How hands-on do we really need to be with this student? So we have packages that start at $650 that range up to $44.75. I think $44.75 is like kind of where it tops out at. If you come in with $44.75, you won't have to pay no more money to get a CDL dealing with us. We're gonna push it to the limit. We're gonna keep at it. I'm gonna call you if you disappear for 3 weeks. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What you thought I forgot? and it has happened with not just 1, 2, 3, but plenty of students that, you know, they'll come in and they think that they could just pay the money, and it happens, and then they realize, oh, it's a bit of a challenge. But and they decide like, oh, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, or I'm gonna study on my own. I was like, no, you paid us so that you can come and get the information that we have. So you need to come to class. What's going on?
Yes, sir.
And this is honestly, this is after somebody would have been and paid me that money. They long and gone. I probably don't even have to worry about them. But I look at it as like one person that kind of like got away. Like, I want my stats. I ain't even gonna lie. I want that successful CDL. I want that experience. I want to be at the NVA celebrate and congratulate you, or one of my trainers just realizing that they had the opportunity to change their life, because it hit different, especially when you had a student that you were struggling with the whole time. You say left, they go right. You say up is down. And then to see them actually go and get their license and see the joy on that face, my trainers need to experience that. You know, I didn't got the juice, you know.
Yes, sir.
But that's something that, you know, is a reward to their hard work. So
okay,
and by that being something to fuel you, we don't want to let no student slip through the cracks.
Then I'm glad that you do that. So now let's take a second and talk about the real, like, give us some practical knowledge about the trucking business, and then what are some myths that you want to bust that people believe
About the trucking business?
Yeah.
Some myths that I will want to bust. That
Yes, sir.
you gonna go out here and make $2,500 just driving the truck, and you gonna do it in a 10-hour window. You gonna be home every night.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
You mean you can be at a shipper and they could decide it's lunchtime for the rest of the day. You there for 8 hours and you ain't even moving. But I think that's like kind of one of the biggest myths that people think, like in trucking, you guaranteed to be home every single day. Can you repeat the first part of the question for me?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what is it that, you see that's really going on? Like, I want a real life perspective from the trucking business, from the time that you was in it for the short time before you became this business owner. What is it that you saw that other people weren't even paying attention to? You know what I mean?
They wasn't paying attention to the way that the market was going. A lot of freight started to get thrown out on the market for real cheap. And at that point, when you realize that the market is going down, you got to make an adjustment. You might have to, focus on making sure that your truck that could be the best is up to date, as everything is fixed on it, every preventative maintenance or something along that nature. You just want to make sure you kind of ahead of the game and really have your eyes on the market, and it's not just on the next load. You got to get into trucker forums and see what's going on. You got to talk to truckers and see, hey, what's up with this? What's going on with that? Another big thing that people do is they go out there and they really just search for the load board. You got to get those relationships up with direct shippers. And that's really how real truckers make it. They have relationships. They make connections with people. They talk to those dock workers. They talk to those shippers, and they build relationships that lasts forever. So that way, when you wake up, you're not worried about a load board, somebody posting something in the efforts to you maybe getting some money. You already got a relationship where I'm going to Target every single day, or I'm going to Whole Foods every single day, and this is what I do. And then I just made another relationship with this person over here, and I'm able to fit that in. And then once you got so many relationships that you can't take care of them all, then you add somebody onto the team that you trust, and you grow your business like that. But you don't grow your business on a bunch of hypotheticals. Waking up to the load board every day is a hypothetical, because it might be work on it, it might not be. You really got to build your relationships, and you got to really build your own lane and what you want to do, because one, being at the mercy of the load boards, you got to go wherever they tell you to go. What if you want a routine? What if you want to make sure you're at the gym in the morning? What if you got church on Sunday? What if so you want to be able to establish a routine and stuff like that. So I think people get into it for the wrong reasons. Some truck drivers should have been Uber drivers until they got did the homework. It's a great feel for a lot of people, but if you're not willing to invest into it, it's the same thing with like being a doctor or something like that. Not as sophisticated, but they went to school and they research, they read medical books, they stay up to date on what's going on. You can't say you a trucker and you don't know the rules and regulations on the road. If you never picked up the same book that DOT uses to inspect your truck, if you never read through that, then you might not be ready to be an owner operator. You might just be at company driver status, where somebody's telling you, here, go here, come there, go there, which is cool too. So it's not, trucking is a lot bigger than what people think it is. It's just, you get in the truck going from point A to point B, is just the surface.
That's deep, bro, man. That's real deep. All right, Christian. Lovely to meet you, brother. Lovely to meet you.
Meet you as well.
All right. So what is it like for you coming into the Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
Coming into Advanced CDL Driving Academy, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I was a student here at one point, and then I started working here. So Kevin gave me the opportunity to be a trainer here after going through the program. Honestly, I just knew I wanted to be better than the people who came before me. So, like, I had my own experience here as a student, you get what I'm saying? One-on-one training, I met the different instructors, and then I ended up working with them personally. So I got to know more of them, you get what I'm saying? But seeing how they were as instructors and me as a student, you get what I'm saying? Once I became an instructor, I had both point of views, you get what I'm saying? So that just poured into how I decided to train, you get what I'm saying?
Okay. So what was some things, let's break it down. What was some things that you had, what was your experience like as a student versus now as an instructor?
I feel like my experience as a student, it was a good experience. It could have been better though. I feel like the instructors weren't as good as me. You get what I'm saying? But
what did they lack?
some lack patience. I think patience is a big thing. Patience. Learning like CDL, being in a big truck is not something that, you know, people do every day. You get what I'm saying? So you can't expect somebody to know the stuff right off rip. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what made a difference with me. I was patient. I ain't never getting mad if they don't get something or if they don't understand it. Even if I got to explain something multiple different times, I'm going to keep doing it until they get it because it's new to them. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like patience is something they lacked.
Okay, so how do you feel now on the other side? Now that you the teacher, not the student.
I feel like I can understand as a student being frustrated with yourself when you feel like you're not getting it down. But now it's like I understand like it's not their job to know if they got it down or not. It's our job to, you know what I'm saying, tell them what they need to get down and guide them there. So that makes a huge difference. Like I let them know, like you don't need to be trying to evaluate yourself. You're here to learn. You get what I'm saying? We're here to teach. And we'll let you know when we see that you're ready, you know what I'm saying? Move on to the next part of the process and stuff like that. I hope that was
No, it's a great answer. You ain't gotta hope. You did a great job right there. So what is something that you feel like if you could, what would you change about this place?
Honestly, it's not nothing that I would change, but I would want us to be out there more people to know about us, because the things that Kevin has in place here and the things that we do here at Advanced CDL Driving Academy, I feel like it really makes a difference. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we make a difference in a lot of people's lives, and this is kind of like on a small scale. Like, we could do a lot more if a lot more people knew about us and knew what we did, honestly.
Okay, so I got one last thing to ask you. What is one thing that you like about working here and one thing you don't?
I like that it's okay. What I'm telling you that I like and I don't like is kind of like it's the same thing. I like it, but I don't like it.
Okay.
I like that we are like smaller. Like it's less than 10 of us that work here. You get what I'm saying? So with us, if we ever got a problem, whatever the case may be, we can all talk to each other. It don't never got to be like nothing weird or whatever the case may be. Like we're like a family. But at the same time, with it only being a little of us, we work harder. You get what I'm saying? We do a lot. You get what I'm saying? With it only being a little of us, we're always working. So that's the one thing.
And you said something very important that we're going to tie back into right now. So I see that it's like home over here, but what is it that makes you feel so like this is like family instead of like a regular job where maybe you got to deal with an HR and 14 managers that you ain't never met or something like that?
I think it's the environment that Kevin provides. Like even when you come in here, I can take my shoes off and it's like I'm working and I feel comfortable. You get what I'm saying? Like the people who I'm around, the energy that the people who I work with give off, that's all what makes it feel like a family feel. Yeah, that's what I would say.
That's it. All right, Christian, and I appreciate you dearly. And that's all we got for you, brother.
Thank you, Juice.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Stay blessed, man.
You feel me? Now I'm down Florida, make $100,000 a year. He put that money behind me. You feel me?
But I'm coming up on you.
It was him. You feel me? It was him. My nigga, I ain't finished school, but you believe in me. That's real nigga shit. I appreciate you. I had to pull up, like, hey, check in on you. That's what's up, bro.
What was it like for you starting off at Advanced CDL Driving Academy, brother?
When I started, it wasn't Advanced CDL Driving Academy yet. It was another company, but
what was that company?
It was called CFI.
Okay.
Not even gonna lie to you, CFI was a little raggedy. CFI was a little raggedy, but that's kind of how everybody, me, Kev, John, Chris, everybody kind of got the I guess the through to the fire as far as the training. After they went out of business or whatever happened with them, you know, Kev took over, bought more trucks, and then we kind of ran it the right way.
Okay. So what was it that, you felt like when you first were starting out here? What was it that kept you motivated and staying with the company?
To be honest with you, like I said, when I was taking classes and it was CFI, like I said, it wasn't as polished as it is now. I didn't like how I was getting trained. So when I started training, I just tried to train people the way I wanted to be trained.
Okay.
So after I seen that it was kind of working, that was kind of what kept me into it. Like giving people the proper training, getting people, up to speed, ready to hit the road, and it was kind of rewarding at the same time, seeing everybody pass and come into the school scared of a truck, and then they leave confident, you know what I mean, thinking they can do everything they need to do. So
Yes, sir.
the rewarding aspect is kind of what kind of kept me here.
Okay, so can you talk about some of them things that you didn't like? Like, what was it? Give us some real examples, man.
Real examples. The trucks was terrible. Like the equipment we was using, even though we were new, it was pretty bad. You know what I mean? The trucks was really in bad conditions. The scheduling was kind of all over the place. Some of the other stuff behind the scenes wasn't the way we felt. Everybody felt it should be. Perfect example was the trucks wouldn't even lock. You know what I mean? So we leave the trucks out. You come back in the morning, you got homeless people sleeping in there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Doing no lot lizards though, right?
No, I mean there might have been a couple lot lizards. we ain't use them, but somebody was using them lot lizards in them trucks.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah, it was stuff like that. Needles, you get into the truck, you got needles in there.
That's no good. Yeah.
No, it just wasn't what it's supposed to be.
Okay, so let us know what is it that brings CDL to that whole next level then? I mean, advanced CDL.
Our trainers is a lot better. Everybody kind of has their own kind of specialty. Pre-trip, teaching people how to shift gears, straight line back, and everybody kind of got their own kind of specialty. But everybody's pretty much good or can train and everything. The training is a lot better. The equipment is night and day different. So all our trucks got air conditioning and heating in it. The door's locked. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. And then the behind the scenes, the way Kev run everything, John, Chris, everybody do the behind the scenes as far as with the scheduling and signing students up and making sure everybody is prepared. And that's top tier.
Okay. And what is one thing that you do like about working here and one thing you don't?
I like the team. I like the people here, the trainers here. I like how we go with the day to day. Everybody is kind of on the same page. Everybody know what to expect from each other. And then I like that we get good results. Like the students usually don't have anything bad to say. We get a whole bunch of 5-star ratings. They send referrals. You know what I mean? That's mainly what I like. I like it's very rewarding. It's not just you come to work and you clock in and clock out. It's after when you're not here. You'll have students texting you saying they passed the test, stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's the rewarding part of it. What I don't like, there's not too many things I don't like. I just feel like not really what I don't like. What I feel like will be different is I feel like people listening. I feel like everybody need to come to the school ready to learn, ready to actually take information that we give them, and not think that they seen somebody or they backed up a truck a couple times and feel like they're professionals.
Okay.
Just the listening part.
Yes, sir. And if it was one thing you could change about operations or the business in general, what would it be?
It's not really too many things. Kev kind of keeps it like a open door policy. If you got something that you feel like can improve everything or improve something or make it better, he'll listen to you. There's really not too many things I could. Location probably. I kind of wish we had a spot that was kind of on its own, so it's not as many distractions. Like that's about it though. But that's not a big issue. But sometimes people get distracted about what's going on around the area.
Okay. I mean, listen, that's all I got for you, bro. You ain't got nothing else for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to stump you or nothing, but that was good, bro. I just want you. All right, my man, Sam. Lovely to meet you again, my brother. So, what has it been like being a trainer here at Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. The experience is wonderful. It's something different, and I'm gravitating towards it.
Okay. So, how long have you been doing it?
A year now.
Okay, so what is the greatest takeaway you've gotten from your experience as an instructor?
Helping people.
Okay.
Some people come to you and you have some people that really come to you like, hey, like earlier I had a guy say, Sam, I need help with this pre-trip. And I know that I got to lock in a different way with this person because it's something they depend on. And, you help someone to help their family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel like you get to connect with the community. So, If you could change one thing about the company, what would it be?
It ain't nothing to change, man.
Oh, you up in the lap of luxury up in here. I hear you. Y'all living good. Kev, you got to listen. Kev, we calling you out. You over here got everybody living in the lap of luxury. We're gonna have to watch out for you. It's too good to work at over here, bro. So, if you could start it all over, would you do it again?
Nah.
What would you change?
I would. What you mean, like?
If you could do everything all over, would you be right here in this same spot talking to me about the Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would.
Okay. And then, what is it that, as an instructor, that you see that that you would want to give as an advice for new students coming in?
Just pay attention and listen to what the instructor is. You know what I mean? Whatever the instructor is telling you to do, it might seems like it's not what it is. Going left and left send you right, and going right and right send you left. Because a lot of people is used to driving cars. When they turn that way, go that way. But with a trailer, when you go one way, it go the opposite way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's hard for them to gravitate that. But just listen to what the instructor is telling you to do. And it's going to work for you.
Okay. That's good. That's good, Sam. So if you had, what is one thing that you like about working here and one thing that you wish it wouldn't be here no more?
What I like about working here is it's like home. You know what I'm saying? Here's like home. We don't have no bad blood. You know, some work you go to work and it's like, man, this person, I don't want to deal with them. But here it's not like that. We all outspoken. We all like brothers. If we have a problem, we speak to each other about it or whatever the case might be. And one thing I don't like, you said, man, I be outside cooking in the sun.
Well, listen, you got that good brown shine on you. People are seeing you. You're glowing right now.
You know what I'm saying?
I do hear it, though. I hear it. Listen, we need to get you something. We got to get you one of them spray fans that go on the hat or something.
You know what I mean? With some water missing on
yeah, there you go. You go back to Six Flags with them.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one last question for you. What would you do if you had to do this as on your own? What would you do?
What would I do if I had to do like what you mean?
All of this on your own by yourself?
On my own.
Or would you come back?
I probably would. I mean, you know what? I would have prayed and I would have thug it out. You know, I would have thug it out if I have to do it on my own because it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just sticking to it is what you're saying.
I would stick to it and grind it all the way out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
As a teacher or as a teacher or as a
Owner operator.
There we go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you can't give up. No matter even if it's hard, you just got to have faith and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Sam. And that's it, my brother. That's all I got for you. I ain't got to keep you all here too much longer, but I appreciate all of your amazing answers, and that's all I got for you, bro.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right. We are back. You know, we took a little intermission, but let's get back into it, Kev. So, we want to hear the story about this lovely, lovely art design you got on the wall over here. How you get this thing going?
So one of the members at my church, a daughter is an artist, and I heard that she was doing different art projects and stuff like that. And me, I like my stuff to be custom to me, so I didn't just want a vinyl sticker up there or anything like that. I actually wanted somebody to come paint it and put it up there. So she's actually my deacon's daughter, and she came in, she set up like a little projector type thing, and she painted it. She just went over everything, and it was dope.
It is dope. It's beautiful, y'all. So let's talk about it. It's been a year's time, and you have grown. You got a new space. You got 800 students. What is it like on a day-to-day for you? What has the transition been like from being just a regular guy to a business owner now?
Man, I kind of never really been like regular.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's always been something kind of going on, or if it's not one thing, it's another. But right now, it's more or less of a transition of putting, like I say, the right people in the right place and just seeing how that part of the operation go. Your business will only grow as far as it can only do as much as it can with the right people in place. So right now is the season of putting the right people in place and seeing how it operates. So I'm more or less in a position of kind of stepping back out of things and seeing like, all right, is this operating right? And then if it's not, I go back in there and make an adjustment. And then by freeing up my time, I'm able to focus on the transportation side of things. As we said, we're going into other facilities and stuff like that. So home base just needs to be like kind of be able to run on autopilot. All of the systems in place, everything is just working properly.
Okay, so let's talk about somebody who's trying to get into maybe the academy or just in CDL in general. But what would you say to somebody right now who only had $500 in their bank account, no connections to trucking, and they're sitting in their car at a McDonald's parking garage Googling, how do I become a truck driving academy? I mean, how do I become a truck driver?
So there's a couple different ways that a person can go. They can take the approach of going to like a warehouse or a place that handles freight and maybe like produces drivers. So for instance, Cisco, you might go there as a dock worker or somebody that works in a warehouse selecting a freight and putting it on the pallets. And then you're building up your relationship with, whoever is responsible for the training department or getting people their CDLs. That way you're in the industry, you're in the environment, and now you then put yourself in a position to make some more money. Yes, because if you can get, in some places you might can get it done for $500 because at the end of the day, I got my license for $750. Now that I think about it, I did really apply myself though, and I studied, I locked in, I did things differently. But I did get my license for $750. So it's actually possible if you go to the right place. But it's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do on your own. You're going to have a lot of self-discipline. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to ask questions. You're going to have to look on YouTube, watch videos. You're going to maybe exchange help for some training insight. Like, hey, ride with a truck. Like, listen, if I help you tarp your loads, will you show me, what's going on? If I get my permit, will you help me practice my parking or something like that? And I come out and help you. It's always different ways to essentially barter services to get knowledge. In a sense, you can come here. You come here. I have plenty of stories where people didn't have all of the money, but they had the determination, and you could see the hunger in their eyes. You could see that they was in a bad situation, and that the CDL getting their license would change them and pull them out of that bad situation. And that was an easy win for me. It was an easy win. It was a way for God to get the glory in that situation as well, because nowadays in times people not helping people. Everybody is like every man for himself type of mentality. So if you have that opportunity to get with somebody or to actually help, then do it if you're in a position to. So yeah, if you come here, we might make something shake. Now don't just be popping up with 500 you didn't gave Gucci 2,000.
That's it for sure. You ain't investing your money right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if God will put it on my heart, who should I help and who I shouldn't help, and it's as simple as that. So it sometimes it be people that have it, but they just might need somebody to look out for them because they always been looking out for other people, and I just happened to do it at the time. I don't know why God just was like, look out for him. And my mechanic, when he walked in here, I didn't realize he was who he was. But he said, hey, I got a little problem, this, that. He's like, I need your help. And after that, I'm happy. I am happy I made that decision. So yeah, it's just, gotta make sure things line up.
I hope y'all listening to that. When you get in business with good people, you ain't got to worry about all that bull. All right, y'all. But let's talk about this. So what is something that you usually see with students that they need to figure out? Like, is it the, getting involved and actually putting in the work to study, or is it they just not, they feel like it's too hard and they just don't want to swallow that pill?
It's all of it. With us, the biggest thing is you gotta show up. With us, if you show up, we gonna figure it out. Like I said, I have a really good team. I have people, that's gonna ask that extra question, or they're gonna come ask me about it. Either way, we're gonna figure out, like, listen, this person is doing X, Y, Z. How do we address it? And then that's when that's my training opportunity to go out there and typically address it with them. Or if I'm developing somebody else to be in position to do the things that I do, then that's the time for that person to go down. Like, all right, let's see what's going on. And then I watch that other person. So it's one of those things where if you're a good teacher, think about when you went to school, them best teachers was engaging. You enjoy going to school. You enjoy going to that class because you learned, you were stimulated. Something was interesting. Things are interesting here. You know,
Yes, sir.
You might be in the truck backing up, but I might just come out there and just, stop.
Like, what?
What are you doing? Let's lock in. And then, and it's not upset for no reason, or like they can understand, like if I'm chewing you out, it's a genuine care that's behind it. It's like, this person really cares that I pay XYZ for this class, and it's not, it's not just I get it, I don't. It's been some students where it's been the trainer, myself, and somebody else is there because, hey, we want 3 different points of view on this. We want to make sure that everything is perfect on this, and then that's way that at that point we can sleep at night if something goes left or something But if something happens with a student and we didn't use all of our resources, if we didn't do what we was essentially hired to do, then it's our fault. So we take responsibility and we go fix the problem for there. But a lot of times, if you just show up, we make sure that's the hardest part, to show up. A lot of students do. We don't really have too many attendance issues, but then we do have some people where they're not paying for the license, so it's not as important. They might be doing it for a job or something like that, or they might be coming through a program or something. So it's not as important. But me, I care about the program that sent them. I care about the person that's funding it. So the student might not care about showing up on time or whatever, but I know that the person that paid for it wants them to get all of the time that they paid for. So guess what? We're gonna have to have a conversation, because it might not be your money, but it's somebody else that pour money in here, and that money goes to helping us with our families. That goes to us surviving on a daily basis. So you gotta appreciate it. You gotta respect the process of which you get it.
Right? Because y'all are a byproduct, and then this is something that most people don't even think. It's like you represent not only yourself but the people around you. You know what I mean? So if a company is paying for you to come here, it's not just their money, man. It's a representation of yourself, and it'll be even a byproduct of you, because if they come back and they don't have half the skills but they paid the full amount, and then it's like, kid, what happened? You know what I mean?
No, that ain't gonna be the case. I've been like, hey, listen, your guy is drunk today. I don't know what's going on, but we need to fix it. You're not in trouble, ain't nothing. But I see that it's not as sharp as it should be, and I don't want no problems.
Yeah, and iron sharpens iron, so you got to stay strong with your stuff, man. So let's take it back to a business aspect, because honestly, you guys, if y'all ain't been paying attention, Kev is over here giving y'all real business lessons on top of talking about this driving game. But every business owner has had that one system or process that they wish they implemented from day one. And what is yours? What is the moment that you realized you needed to implement a little bit more into your system?
That I needed to implement.
Now, this is from the beginning, right?
From the beginning?
Yeah, that you didn't do at first.
That I didn't do at first. I didn't release as much control as I needed to. Like sometimes you could be hands-on, and sometimes you could be too hands-on. Sometimes you can overwork something. So I think the transition from then to now is, and it helps with stress management too, is stepping back and understanding people are people, and people develop at different ways. And you might have a certain type of person that develops this way. You might have a certain type of person that develops that way. So it's really just stepping back and just evaluating, the people that you have in place, and really like making sure that they're in place, and following up with that. So consistency with follow up, personal development of your team members. I think that's important. So one of the issues that we used to hear a lot at the beginning is that, oh, this person doesn't train like this person. And though is a good thing, and I still want us to have that equipped, because it's good to pick up information from different people. We all got to have, but we all needed to get on the same page and be on the same track with one thing. So we created essentially like a trainer handbook. Okay. And it's a building process. It's not complete. It's like, hey, does this work? And it's not just me putting it in there, it's my team. It's like, all right, does this work? Is this consistent? Now I have the fundamentals that, hey, this, what I've already produced, it works. We are successful from this. But if y'all have anything that y'all can add to it that makes it better or makes it more easier, then let's do that. And like I say that, and I think that'll bring everybody, put everybody on the same page, and having those follow-ups with people as a leader. I know that's one of the things I dropped the ball on, as far as not making a way for as much follow-up that it could have been. At one point in time, we got crazy busy. We was doing 65, 70 students a month. So it's kind of hard to have time for meetings when you operate 7 days a week, and then people was working 7 a.m. to 5 or 7 a.m. to 7 and stuff like that. And though we was doing really, really well in the business, it was a lack of development throughout that time, and really like focusing on me as a leader, focusing on my team and what they needed, because they taking care of the student. I need to take care of them. So there was a couple of things, like I said, I wasn't developing no more. And I was like, you know what, you can't just fix it overnight. You got to put another system into place to fix the one system that you had. So we're at that process now, whereas, we're making sure that essentially our secret sauce, our original recipe, is to perfection.
Yes, sir. It got to be cooked to greatness, so we don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so what was the hardest part for you releasing that control? Like, why wouldn't you able to let it go?
I want to say like a perfectionist, but not really. Like, it's like, if we're organizing papers, I want all of the papers to be straight. But I realize that in the day and times that we're in, all of the papers don't need to be straight. And sometimes if the papers are crooked, it's more appealing to people. So I think that one of the things was like dealing with uniforms, versus make that an ordeal to be something to complain about. Like, all right, well, ask yourself, how does that help or hurt? Well, it helps, through the branding and stuff like that, makes us all uniform. But if it's a real issue and it is going to cause a problem with a specific person, how do we work around it? How do we figure out something else to do? So I think that having compromise for certain things that's not like make or break is part of it. And then you got to have your absolute, listen, I won't tolerate this.
Yeah.
And I think that
line in the sand.
Yeah, I think if you have like your I won't tolerate this, if that's real low, but you're serious about those things, then all of the other things will kind of fall into place, because the environment will only create it to be like that. If you come in and everybody is sharp, they look in a certain way, and you the one person that don't, then you're gonna stand out. Mm-hmm. So it gets to a point where, what, I'm gonna make sure that I just put it in rotation. If something I want them to do, I'm like, all right, let me make sure I'm doing it on a consistent basis, because I gotta still remember, people go through life, people go through situations, and if the root thing is being done and is being done well, then you gotta have an understanding on the other stuff.
Yeah, definitely that. So like, the business has been expanding, things are amazing, but what has been the hardest thing that, since the last time we spoke, that you have had, that the school Advanced Driving Academy has been tested with or survived since?
I think one of the biggest things is maybe our final check on certain things. We used to have like a 98% first time pass rate. Now it's down to probably like a 92. Mm-hmm. And I think that like the expansion of stuff and growing and adding people on rapidly, I think that, part of it was like that culture, or that understanding that, like, listen, it's not okay. Even if they in one of my programs, which is unlimited program, it's still not okay for them to fail. It's still not okay for them to do bad. And I think that like I say, through that rapid growth, that was one of the things that kind of like got away. And we got it back in check real quick.
Listen, I hear you, brother, because we gonna mention this at the end, but you have a real talent for something amazing, and I think that a lot of people need to know this. But we're gonna give them a little bit of second. We're gonna dangle it on the hook. But in that moment, what was the first thing that came to your head when you saw that number drop, that 98 percentile, which is amazing too? I want to hold up. Let's clap it up for you. 98% success rate, y'all.
It was just a reality check. Like, I was like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Because if it was working at one point, it was working at one point with other people, then it's obviously something that I'm doing wrong. And I think if you take that approach as a leader, it's like, all right, first let me fix what I'm doing wrong, and then I'll go fix all of the other stuff. Now, if it's something that I put somebody in position to handle a certain way, then of course, you do your checks and balances, but you always got to go back and look and see, like, all right, well, am I sacrificing anything just to get this person due to this part or whatever? And I think that was part of it. Like, we had got the passing of the test down to a science. So it's like, all right, run them through this, do this, and then done. But then the engagement to help them retain it a little bit better, it wasn't that. So we can train a student, right, to pass the test and to pass it amongst us and be in a comfortable situation. But then what separated us from other people is that we was able to provide that sense of nervousness for the test day. And I think that's what we got away from, is like that final check. Like, listen, if you mess this up, it's going to be this type of repercussion, and like really hold them accountable. Not when they making the error, we not smiling in their face and stuff like, no, it's wrong. You failed.
Okay.
Go home.
Yeah, that tough love they need.
But it worked. Like a lot of people was like, oh, when you come out there, they get all da 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 da. I was like, then they're not ready. If I can come and disturb them from doing the maneuver, then they're not ready. They should be able to perform it in front of me, because I want them to mess up as much as they would for the examiner. Now we know what to fix.
So we're going to talk about some things that, you know, you felt like you were changing, or even through your students, right? So how did you acknowledge the things about yourself in the way you interact with your students and run your business?
So how do I acknowledge that?
Yeah, how do you acknowledge the change?
Oh, like how do I realize when it's time to change, like what I'm doing?
Yes, sir.
I live in a state of change always. You know, like how the Hawk said, like I'm always angry. No, I'm always prepared to deal with a shift. It's, you know, it's good to not be stuck in your ways. It's good to have a standard. It's good to have a baseline, but understand that things change. Understand that people don't wake up on the same side of the bed every day. So you got to be able to adjust and handle things accordingly. Don't let 6 seconds cost you 60 years type stuff. You know, understand that if you have a good start, this is what sets your day up for success. And then try to mimic that routine every day. Like, all right, if I do this every day, I have a successful day, or I can deal with anything that comes my way. And just prepare the start of your day a little bit better.
Yes, sir. You know, you got to wake up early, and early bird catches the worm. That's it right there, man. And once you got a set plan, you can definitely probably conquer the world, man. Kevin, in the old tradition of trucking, taking in newbies under the wing, what is it that you feel like you implement into them that has become a tradition that sets you guys apart?
Integrity.
Okay.
Anything we do, just do it with integrity. If it's something like, if it's not something that's within your means, just say it, because there's probably somebody here that can handle it. And I don't mind shifting things around, but do everything with integrity. Don't try to cheat people. Don't try to hurt them. Don't try to give them less than what they actually deserve. And find a way to actually help somebody, and within the capacity that you have to help them. I think with the school, I have the capacity to help a lot of people as far as change their career path. And the trainer level, you might have the capacity to help somebody understand a particular topic at that time. So do that. Yeah.
Okay. And in a 10-year time frame, when somebody mentions Advanced Driving Academy, what do you want them to say?
That I want them to say that initial experience from start to finish, that everything that was mentioned during that initial enrollment process takes place throughout their course. That's really, really big. It's really, really big. If we say something is going to happen, or something needs to go a certain way, and it doesn't, it's my fault. It's our fault, because the program is designed for that to be successful. So somewhere, even if it's a issue where you're not doing what you're supposed to, we have systems set up in place to address that when it needs to be addressed. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I want, that we're known for our integrity. We're known for providing results consistently, and that we're beginning to stand the test of time. A lot of things start off good, right? A lot of things have tremendous success, and they get good, and then they expand, and they're in this state, that state, and then it gets watered down. We do plan to expand. We do plan to go to other states. But in 10 years, I want to make sure that every state hit just like this location. And that's like the biggest thing. Like, what's happening in Atlanta needs to happen in Baltimore.
Okay.
What's happening in Baltimore needs to happen in Ohio. What's happening in Texas, and it has to go that way. And yeah, if that happens, I'll be happy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that, man. Listen, expansion, all of that growth is sounding great. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of your unexpected lessons. What's an assumption that you had about some of the people and or the businesses before you got started?
That was wrong or right?
That was wrong. Well, I mean, either or. Which one? Give me both. Give me one and one.
I was, like I said, I was kind of fortunate to be coached into this process. So I've always kind of understood business. I play Sims. No, what is it? Roller Coaster Tycoon? Yeah, all of those little things where you had to set stuff up and make it work right.
Yes, sir.
I did all of that, but my assumption that everybody that paid their money was hungry. They was there to get their license, and that's not the case. Not even by a long shot. You do have a lot of people that take advantage of the opportunity to do what they're supposed to, but then you have some people that pay the money and think it's supposed to just boop. All right, now it's supposed to download into my mind. They really operate like, all right, I paid this, so it's supposed to have this result, but you're not putting in the effort. So that was really, really kind of like shocking to me to realize how many people will be okay with just wasting the money, wasting thousands of dollars when, you know, all they had to do was show up.
Right.
And to see how a person would have lost it, and if I didn't step in and say anything, it just makes me wonder how many people out there in the world is doing this. Like, how many people is like starting stuff, and because nobody follows up with them throughout their process, they just give up on it. So that was like kind of like a big shocker. Like, there's a lot of people that will sign up and have all of the intentions in the world on enrollment day, but the second day after that, they're in the wind. And you know, it's crazy because it's not necessarily hurting me. It's actually like, if from a greedy standpoint, is a benefit, because now the student paid, they're gone. I don't got to train them, and I get to keep the money. But then in the actual stripes department, like that's one less person I got to train. That's one less person I got to make a connection with and build that relationship. Those, like we said, 800 students, right? But that's 800 relationships. That's 800 opportunities for me. That's 800 people that can pour back into my life because we had a chance to pour into their life. So don't just, you know, sometimes people get so stuck on the small thing, but it's a lot of relationships out there.
Yes, sir. Tell me about a student who's taught you something that completely changed how you see things.
I learned from all of my students. I think that's what makes us better trainers. We use our most difficult student as our learning student. If we have a student that struggles on something, well, I say this is an opportunity, because if we could train him, we could train everybody that learns like him. And that time because it's one-on-one instruction, so that time that we spend with people, every time we're trying to learn, like, hey, what do they do? How do they operate in their lane? You know, we done met some real estate people, and we learn from them how they do their things, and you know what's going on with the booming market, and as far as houses and different things like that, or people that sell hair or different things.
Wait a minute, you had people that sold houses that came and started learning how to truck?
I had doctors.
Oh, man.
Police officers. I've had people from the Secret Service. Because of what's going on with our country, we've had federal workers. Okay. All sorts. We had people working NASA. Like, we doing our thing.
Yeah, man. Listen, you got some real connections for sure, bro. I like that. So we get into towards the end, and I wanted to know, what's some of the things that you got or you're excited about that's coming up in maybe the next year?
We're positioning ourselves to be able to work with our veterans, far as becoming, there's a thing called ETPL list, and it's like a special list that training providers go on so they can work with state facilities or people in the Army and stuff like that. So that's our next goal, is to, you know, try to pursue that. After that, like once we get into that position, then that's when like all of the dreams, like the personal dreams, can kind of come to life. Like, this was the structure. Everything you see now is like, all right, I want to start off with something good and have a good structure to it. But then there's a point where you want to try stuff. Like, I might want to get a simulator, or I might want to shoot pre-trip videos through the glasses or something. Okay. You know, just be able to just expand on what we do really, really good as far as the training, and provide different ways for it to reach people through our YouTube, Zoom, VR, just, you know, wherever technology is taking us, we want to make sure that we're right there with it, and that we're keeping up with the trend and how things change. I know that there's going to be a lot of things changing with trucking because of, you know, the accident that happened.
Talk about it. What accident?
The trucker did that illegal U-turn in Florida, and the car drove up under him. I think they killed like a family of 3. Ooh. And he was, I believe, a legal immigrant, and he had like false documents. He wasn't supposed to be here driving. Okay. So President Trump has already started cracking down on things as far as visas and, you know, different things like that, as far as, your status on being able to drive. So that's going to remove a lot of drivers from the market, which helps out, American truckers, because then, those jobs that was being taken away for a lot less, you not have the opportunity to get that job. But I feel like they're going to target everything else besides what they need to target, which is the company and how they develop their driver. Driving school, our job is to train the driver to pass the test and to get the basic knowledge. Once you go to the company, there is their responsibility to show you how to operate their equipment. So a lot of times when things like that happen, they like to go back to the source, like, oh, well, let's blame the driving school, let's blame the people that tested him, and how did he get his CDLs? No, that's not the person you blame, because if you was to do that, then you would apply the same thing to driver's license, right? A kid goes and gets their driver's license, 16, 17, and it goes out there and get in a crash. Do you then go home? Do you then go back and blame the driving school that got him it, or the instructor that passed him? Or do you talk to the parents about, hey, what is your rules and regulations behind driving, or how do you prep your child in to be a safe driver and stuff like that? So I think that down the pipeline is going to become a lot of unnecessary rules and the regulations that they're going to put in place, and it's not going to affect the right people. Now, this is completely hypothetical. It might not happen like that, but that's just my thought. You already hear people start to say this, and, oh, let's check on this. Or it was the school's fault, or it was the examiner's fault. But he works at the company. So I think that's something that's going to be interesting. The thing is, I am prepared for it because we operate above board and we try to do everything that we're supposed to and make sure things, one, is compliant with FMCSA. When they then enforce new regulations, it's not that hard to adapt to it. Or if they do something different, because we're always comfortable with a state of change, it's not that hard to implement something new. So us creating an environment where we're able to deal with different things is going to prepare for us for whatever comes down the road. And it's also going to help to a degree too, because it's going to get the people that's not doing it right out of the game. Mm-hmm. And I don't never want to see nobody's business close or them get affected like that, but I also don't want to see people getting taken advantage of. My kids also drive on this road. So the people that that come out and things aren't what they're supposed to be, or or the experience wasn't what it was supposed to be, then they need to go.
Yeah, they gotta get up out of here. We ain't keeping nobody that's gonna be toxic to the situation. Okay, now if you had all the power in the universe and you could change one thing about the trucking industry tomorrow, what would it be?
Remove brokers. And somebody gonna hate me for that. And like I said, I'm not no guru on the actual trucking part, but I do know from what I understand that they're a big monkey wrench in the game. They're taking up a lot of the money that is paying for the freight is going to the broker that's essentially just handing it off. They're not driving, they're not doing anything. And what's happening is the good drivers, the ones that can get the load there safely, is not taking that stuff, or they already set up in the way that they are, and the only people that's accepting that stuff is bad drivers, or people are hiring people that's not qualified for the position. And if it was just a way to have, like, maybe not removing my apologies, because everybody is a reason for everything, but maybe the transparency in that relationship, the broker, shipper, carrier relationship, it really needs to be like a lot more transparency, and then it needs to also be some type of thing in place where it's not so many things trying to get truckers out the way. It's like you got DOT, you got loads taken all day long, you got brokers taking too much of the money. It seems like everything is against the trucker that's driving the load to and from the place. And it's like, at the end of the day, we're the ones doing the job. Like, we get into the truck, we sit behind the wheel, we dodge four-wheelers, and we drive to and from place. So why is the broker making more money than the truck driver? It doesn't make sense.
It's a wild business that we live in, right?
It comes on a truck too.
Say it again?
Everything comes on a truck.
That's it. At final destination, definitely it's coming in on a truck. You can't do it on a train. You cannot do it on a plane. It's coming in on a truck. So, there is something we need to take a look at on that one.
All right. So congratulations on passing your CDL today. How was your experience here at Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
I had a good experience. They walk you through step by step everything you need to know, everything you need to do. They're gonna take care of you.
Cool. Congratulations.
All right, Christian. Lovely to meet you, brother. Lovely to meet you.
Meet you as well.
All right. So, what is it like for you coming into the Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
Coming into Advanced CDL Driving Academy, honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I was a student here at one point, and then I started working here. So Kevin gave me the opportunity to be a trainer here after going through the program. Honestly, I just knew I wanted to be better than the people who came before me. So, like, I had my own experience here as a student. You get what I'm saying? One-on-one training. I met the different instructors, and then I ended up working with them personally. So I got to know more of them. You get what I'm saying? But seeing how they were as instructors and me as a student, you get what I'm saying? Once I became an instructor, I had both point of views. You get what I'm saying? So that just poured into how I decided to train. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. So what was some things, let's break it down. What was some things that you had, what was your experience like as a student versus now as an instructor?
I feel like my experience as a student, it was a good experience. It could have been better though. I feel like the instructors weren't as good as me. You get what I'm saying? But
what did they lack?
Some lack patience. I think patience is a big thing. Patience. Learning like CDL, being in a big truck is not something that, you know, people do every day. You get what I'm saying? So you can't expect somebody to know the stuff right off rip. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what made a difference with me. I was patient. I ain't never getting mad if they don't get something or if they don't understand it. Even if I got to explain something multiple different times, I'm going to keep doing it until they get it because it's new to them. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like patience is something they lacked.
Okay, so how do you feel now on the other side, now that you the teacher, not the student?
I feel like I can understand as a student being frustrated with yourself when you feel like you're not getting it down. But now it's like I understand, like, it's not their job to know if they got it down or not. It's our job to, you know what I'm saying, tell them what they need to get down and guide them there. So that makes a huge difference. Like, I let them know, like, you don't need to be trying to evaluate yourself. You're here to learn. You get what I'm saying? We're here to teach. And we'll let you know when we see that you're ready, you know what I'm saying, to move on and to the next part of the process and stuff like that. I hope that was
No, that's a great answer. You ain't got to hope. You did a great job right there. So what is something that you feel like if you could, what would you change about this place?
Honestly, it's not nothing that I would change, but I would want us to be out there more people to know about us, because the things that Kevin has in place here and the things that we do here at Advanced CDL Driving Academy, I feel like it really makes a difference. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we make a difference in a lot of people's lives, and this is kind of like on a small scale. Like, we could do a lot more if a lot more people knew about us and knew what we did, honestly.
Okay, so I got one last thing to ask you. What is one thing that you like about working here and one thing you don't?
I like that it's okay. What I'm telling you that I like and I don't like is kind of like it's the same thing. I like it, but I don't like it.
Okay.
I like that we are like smaller. Like it's less than 10 of us that work here. You get what I'm saying? So with us, if we ever got a problem, whatever the case may be, we can all talk to each other. It don't never got to be like nothing weird or whatever the case may be. Like, we're like a family. But at the same time, with it only being a little of us, we work harder. You get what I'm saying? We do a lot. You get what I'm saying? With it only being a little of us, we're always working. So
okay,
that's the one thing.
And you said something very important that we're going to tie back into right now. So I see that it's like home over here, but what is it that makes you feel so like this is like family instead of like a regular job where maybe you got to deal with an HR and 14 managers that you ain't never met or something like that?
I think it's the environment that Kevin provides. Like, even when you come in here, I can take my shoes off and it's like I'm working and I feel comfortable. You get what I'm saying? Like, the people who I'm around, the energy that the people who I work with give off, that's all what makes it feel like a family feel. Yeah, that's what I would say.
That's it. All right, Christian, and I appreciate you dearly. That's all we got for you, brother.
Thank you, Juice.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Stay blessed, man. What is the best way for someone to get a real sense of whether Advanced Driving Academy is right for them?
Ask our former students. Go to Google, look at the reviews. I believe it's still a 5 stars, like 300 or 200 and like something, 90 something reviews.
Okay.
From the people that actually went up there and posted. But 5-star reviews is nothing is fake or phony. Not one. If there's one fake or altered or out of the way review that I can't verify, then your school is free for me. for free for you. You get what I'm saying? If you go through there, find anyone that I can't fact check or tie it back to a student or somebody that had a great experience with us, and that's related to my business, then yeah, I'm gonna take care of you, because integrity is everything, you know. So if you go there, look, you'll see people's videos, you'll see the different nationalities, you'll see what they had to say about not just me but my instructors, because that's what's most important. I don't get to train as much as I used to, you know. So I go out there and like put out fires to a degree or improve standards, but it's my guys out there that's kind of on the front lines right now, and you see it in the comments. You'll see where it started off, where it was Kevin, then it's Kevin Stanley Dre, and then it was Kevin Stanley Dre John, and then it was da 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 da, and then you just start seeing the different people. So that lets you know that it's the people, but it's also the system, it's also the environment. It's not just one particular person. Oh, you gotta go there, you gotta work with Kevin. No, you can come here and just you're gonna have the same type of experience with Sam, the same type of experience with Jada, the same type of experience with Christian, and that their own unique spirit, their own unique way. I'm still me, so you're gonna have to put in a lot of work to be me and to provide the experience I provide, because that's just how I am. But everybody has developed their own way to do how they do and be who they are, and that same type of experience. So
yes,
check us
sir.
out on Google.
So Kevin, for somebody who's listening, who's been on the fence about making the big change in their life on whether they should be trucking or something else, what's your challenge to them?
Anything that you do in life, if you do it wholeheartedly, if you do it with purpose, you're gonna do well at it. As simple as that. And if you find your why, you find your purpose with it, right? I tell everybody, you tend to do better or be more successful at something that involves yourself with helping somebody else. That's why we do so well. It's not just, like I say, the money. It's like who we get to help, that experience we get to have with that person, that bond we get to build. So anything you do in life, just make sure it's meaningful to you. Don't do it for a check. I promise you it will not last, period.
And if you could give Kevin from a year ago a piece of advice, what would you tell him?
Buy more XRP.
Oh my goodness.
That is where my mind is focused at. As far as going forward, I've seen a lot of things about how wealth is going to transfer. There's a lot of older people that's in the industry and multiple different things that's coming to a point where they're about to retire, and family don't want to take over the family business. So it's a lot of area opportunity. There's a lot of things that you can invest in to make money overnight, in a sense. There's a lot of things you could put money into now, and you can already see where like it's going to turn out at, in a sense. And you just gotta be disciplined in your approach to getting it. I think the biggest thing that I would have focused on is building a more solid financial plan for the future, for the extras, in a sense. Like we got a good financial plan for the school and how we're going to structure those things, and with equipment, with books and all of that stuff. But how is a way to put that into format so that you can make the extras, in a sense, like, you know, that passive income, that Lamborghini money, if you want to buy it, because it's out there. It's people that, you know, that wake up, turn their camera on, and next thing you know, they millionaires overnight. I don't know how that works with the name dropping, but Ashton Hall, I like his consistency. And I actually watched from like 2019. There's a lot. The thing I noticed around COVID, you see a lot of people like stepping into their own thing of what they're doing, and the biggest thing about it is has been consistency. And
yes, sir.
It seems like they just been stepping into doing something that they enjoy doing. So
and ain't no job when you doing what you like to do. Exactly. So what is the next big success for Advanced CDL Driving Academy?
The next big success is streamlining our students to our own transportation company.
There we go.
Streamlining our students,
keeping it all at home, and then building this family that's literally, I said it to, y'all see it throughout the video, but I said it to his students, but Kevin is fostering too good of a place. Like, these people come in here think that they're his brother, man. They love it here, and I feel at home. Like I said it earlier, I felt at home when I walked right in here. And that's great, man. Kev, so as we wrap it up, I just want to say I appreciate you, and I think that you're doing amazing work here, and I hope that God keeps blessing you each and every day and in every way. Before we get out of here, I want you to tell them one more time for me where to find you, how to get in touch with the Academy, and how they can get involved today.
You can call us at 833-411-4511. That'll get you our office, and then one of our representatives will take care of you. You can find us on www.advancedcdldrivingacademy.com. Same thing with all of the socials, Advanced CDL Driving Academy. That's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're gonna really be pushing our social media presence this upcoming year.
Okay.
And you could just stop in, 3426 South Hanover Street. Usually any day between 8 and 4, somebody's always here. So if you're not gonna do it, nobody here, just come to the lot next door and you just wave like, hey, I'm ready. Somebody gonna jump out the truck real quick.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So if y'all need it and y'all want it, please drop in. He is literally changing lives. He's going out and touching people who wouldn't have had this opportunity beforehand. I think you're doing absolutely amazing work again, bro. So I just want to say, as always, my good folks, live as long as you want, never want as long as you live, and always squeeze the best juice out of life. Peace.